Hi, Karen Curry Parker here. I have a special evolution report update for you this week. We have a major full moon lunar eclipse event happening Thursday night. That's the night of November the 18th, leading into November the 19th. This is a really interesting eclipse that I want to just unpack for you guys for just a minute. First of all, anytime we have an eclipse, whether it's a solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse, it's a lunar eclipse in this case, it amplifies the theme of the moon. So a lunar eclipse always happens on a full moon, and a full moon brings us the theme of what do we need to release? What do we need to let go of? And of course, with this full moon being highlighted or amplified by a lunar eclipse, we have this massive release event. Now, the moon itself is in Taurus energy, so it's carrying this Taurus energy, and it's happening in Scorpio season, which is a really interesting combination of energies too, because Taurus brings us grounding. It's practical. It wants to have the next right logical linear step. It connects us back to nature and natural order. And Scorpio is all about the depth and going deep and exploring the shadow side. And of course, with all of this energy coming up under the light of a full moon with this eclipse vibe, we've got this need to go deep, this need to really explore the depth of the shadow in order for us to emerge in a more grounded, more authentic, more practical way. So we're doing all of this in the context of, in human design, the energy of individuality, or what I call transformational circuitry. We've got nodes highlighting the gate 34 and the gate 20, bringing to definition the channel of the manifest, the archetype of the manifest generator. So we've got, this really interesting theme that's being held by the nodes that's really inviting us to explore power and our sense of empowerment. It's also in this individual energy, which actually we have nodal energies highlighting individual themes for the next 3 to 4 years. In various points in the chart, we've got this raging theme of individuality playing out for the next few years. And the planets are really just basically informing us that, hey, you really got to get clear about who you are. You really have to stop compromising and settling and thinking you have to construct some kind of facade over here, because that's not sustainable. We can't live in a way that's untrue to our authentic self. And we see that in everything we do, whether it's in our relationships, whether it's in our work, whether it's with our health and wellness. If we're not true to who we are, the energy that it takes to maintain the facade is exhausting and it's depleting. And really, it's at the root of what I think is sort of a rampant disconnect that many of us are experiencing collectively from life itself. We think, or we're trained, or we're conditioned to think, hey, we can't be who we are. It's not okay for us to be who we are. It's not safe for us to be who we are. We're not valued for who we are. If we're expressing the truth of who we are, we're getting it wrong, right? We've been judged and criticized and taught to get in the box since we got here. And all of these energies are screaming at us, get out of the box. Dismantle the box, disrupt the box, take the edges of the box down, because there is no box. You bought into the idea there was a box because you were told there was a box, but there is no box. And in fact, the more we step into the full authentic expression of who we are, not only do we liberate our energy, find more juice, zest, joy, a vibrational alignment that is contagious and expansive for our lives, we also start healing the karma of our own value. We start to realize, wow, there's never been anyone like me before on this planet. There never will be anyone like me before again on this planet. I occupy a unique and vital and irreplaceable role in the cosmic plan. And actually, this entire planet is what it is because I exist on it. If I wasn't here, it wouldn't be the same planet. And that's truth. And when we really get that, like when we really, really get that, then not only do we drop into our own value and consequently start creating from a place that's sustainable, and because we're creating from a sustainable place, we are creating sustainably out in the world, we also begin to see the value of each and every living being on the planet And all of a sudden our mindset shifts and our decisions shift, and we're no longer in competition, and we're no longer engaged in an economy that has, have and have not. We're playing an entirely different game when we're living from that authentic place of self-expression. The decisions we make are completely different. Everything we do is radically different because we're not playing the old game anymore. The old game that said, you can't be who you are. Get back in the box. That box is gone. And certainly I would say this full moon is just highlighting for us in its fullest light, and then in the shadow, and then back in the light, that we can't do that anymore. We got to let go of every lie, every story, every part of our narrative that we have somehow internalized that taught us to believe that it wasn't okay for us to be who we are and how we are. We have to let that lie go. Now, this particular eclipse is the longest eclipse we've had in about 500 years. It's going to span over hours. So it's almost like the planets and the moon especially and the sun are saying, look, guys, this is hard. You've been working on this for a while now, and we get how hard it is. There's ancestral karma that needs to be disentangled. There's, old life patterns that you have to let go of. There's so much work that we got to do with this. So we're going to give you a really long eclipse, so you have lots of time to really go deep and then come up again into the light, to really get in there and pull out everything that is keeping you from fully expressing the truth of who you are, that's keeping you from pushing the boundaries of the edges of your self-expression. We are being invited to go really deep and let go of anything that's holding us back from being the full expression of the truth of who we are. So this is intense energy, and it has the potential, particularly in relationships and in our collective relationships, our collective agreements, it has the potential for us to emerge back into the light and say, oh, okay, wait a minute, hold up. We need to renegotiate the contracts that we made in our partnerships. And that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to let go of the partnerships, but we're going to be doing them differently. We're going to be in relationship with our own self first, and from that authentic place, be creating better relationship agreements that better match the true story, the new true story you're going to start telling about who you are. So really, I would expect this week for there to be a little bit of tension in your partnerships, a lot of clarity, a lot of potential for revelations, a lot of opportunity for you to explore the question, how much am I willing to allow myself to receive? How much good am I willing to allow into my life? How much support am I ready to let myself tap into as an essential component for my authentic self-expression? We're going to be invited to reconnect with that natural pulse that is the natural order of nature and trees and plants and flowers and all those non-mechanistic ways that we sometimes forget are essential components to help us connect to the true nature of who we are. So definitely, drink lots of water, stay grounded. It's Taurus energy, it's Scorpio energy, water and grounding. Really give yourself, the self-care, the self-exploration, the time that it takes to really, unbind yourself from the lies, the conditioning that we've been told. Step into a higher, fuller, more rich expression of who you are. Let yourself be supported through the process. And know that if we go back and look at the design, you are designed to be who you are. That is your actual purpose. It's not what you do. It's not your job. It's not how you make money. You're designed to be yourself. And when we look at the chart as a blueprint for the human story, what we see is that each and every expression of humanity is not only designed to be themselves, to add that facet to the diamond that is the story of humanity, but also you're designed to be supported because you exist, because you're so precious that the cosmos itself is inherently biased towards supporting you in the fulfillment of your authentic self. Anything that's getting in the way of you living from that place is up for releasing this week. So take good care of yourselves, get sleep, get rest, get watered, go outside, disconnect from media, reconnect with your true self. Breathe, count to 10 before you say anything, and get out there and relentlessly reclaim every aspect of the magnificence and the beauty and the preciousness of who you truly are. See you next week.